All right, here is Unit 10 practice exercise, which is on function-based interventions. And you are asked to download a file. It's a PDF file that's got a handy chart showing antecedent preventative interventions for different functions, antecedent training-based interventions for different functions, as well as consequence-based interventions for several different functions. And this is something that you will probably want to download and save. It is a very handy chart. And this exercise is asking that you look at several different scenarios and that you develop both antecedent-based interventions as well as consequence-based interventions using that chart. Okay, so let's look at doing one of those. Here it says Jimmy relentlessly pulls on his mom's shirt. It says mom, mom, mom over and over. And they ask that we alter the discriminative stimulus that evokes that behavior. Okay, so if I look at the chart, the function of this behavior, even though it doesn't specifically state it, I'm going to say is attention based. So this is automatic reinforcement. I don't believe that's the case. I'm looking for attention maintained behavior. Here is attention maintained behavior, but that is a consequence-based intervention. We're looking at antecedent-based. Okay, here is antecedent-based, attention maintained. This is social skills training. Teach them to get attention appropriately. Teach them to wait for attention. Here's an antecedent preventative for attention maintained. Non-contingent attention. Alter the discriminative stimuli. Altering the discriminative stimuli works well if the behavior exists in a well-delineated chain or if the antecedent has been really well identified. They don't tell us what the antecedent for him pulling on her shirt and saying mom, mom, mom over and over is, but because they have told us to alter the discriminative stimuli, I'm going to assume that it's something like every time mom gets on the phone, that is the antecedent that then prompts Billy to pull on her shirt and say mom, mom, mom over and over. One of the things here it says, like for instance, so you could teach red light, green light, and that is something that we could do in this situation. We could have that mom has a little placard around her neck. One side of it is red, the other side is green. When she has it green, that indicates to Billy that he can go to her and say, mom, and she's going to give him attention. That she can flip that placard around, and that's going to be a discriminating stimulus that tells Billy, right now, mom isn't going to give you attention. Okay, so that would be an intervention that could affect the function of him gaining attention from his mom. So in this exercise, the first scenarios ask that you develop an antecedent-based intervention, and the second set asks that you develop consequence-based intervention. There are some specifics. For instance, the next one about Jimmy under consequence-based asks that you use differential reinforcement of an alternative behavior. So make sure when you're looking at the chart that you're looking at the correct either antecedent or consequence. And if we look then, for instance, I'm looking at the consequence, and here, differential reinforcement, right here, it's letting us know when we would use those things, okay? So make sure that you're looking at consequence or antecedent and that you are addressing any other specifics that are introduced in that scenario and show that you're able to develop interventions based on the function of the behavior.